His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country, so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happen in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the Civic battles in Comot Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. If that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, practically dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you Weah vex that you will struck the whack and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, he would have fallen in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commends the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Their respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people They all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. Ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court, they got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Comer today, he worked in the previous administration when Weah came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we had always been molded. That's how God has already molded Weah and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they cared. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to proud in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
As a criminal justice expert, someone who has been a solicitor general and has been teaching criminal law for years, teaching at the police academy, I am so angry this morning to hear that Deputy Minister McGill, the man who was accused of raping a 14-year-old girl, is passing up and down the street. He should be in the police cell, that he are not being arrested. We cannot have selective justice. Article 11C of the Constitution calls for equal protection. The same way you treat people from West Point, Sodiwine, or Vubadi in Sino when they are accused of crime, the same way you should treat high official of government. Why do I say so? When I was Solicitor General and my good friend Roland Khan was senator, and the police came to me with a report, a team led by Sam Sion, chief of investigation at that time, and said, we are investigating, but Senator Roland Khan's name has featured as a co-conspirator. I said, go arrest him. I will answer the question. They told me, oh, he's a member of the Senate. Can't we write the Senate to excuse him to be arrested? I said, no, there's nothing in the law that says so. He was immediately arrested and put at the back of the pickup, handcuffed along with other defendants. All suspects of crime must be treated the same way. What is happening now undermines the error in the arrest agenda. It undermines the rule of law. I'm calling upon the police to immediately arrest former Deputy Minister McGill. He should be former Deputy Minister.
We realize that the human rights violation is getting at the highest pitch. And our monitors on the field have to send a report, then we will advise the government as to what to do. It is our responsibility. Now, Nimba County in recent time have the highest violation of human rights, killing of people. Sometimes in a day you see people laying down in the street, raping people's daughters, then bombing also. And so the motorcycles are being brought to us.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
We are for keeping watch over us throughout the week and then setting us into this day again to make society better. It's an obligation, not a privilege, not an opportunity, not a choice, but an obligation to get society better. Liberia society, speaking truth to power, and it's getting better by the day. Yes, change is taking place across the government, though bitter, but they are compelled to accept because it is sounding loud and loud in their ears. Great day it is. Thank you all for coming on. We appreciate all of you. You are so good. You're so massive. You're so extraordinary. Great people. Silver, Washington, Broville, Kwakwa Massaquoi, Painesville, Clady Addison, Delaware, Rutland Jar, Musa A. Sharif, Sophie, Congo Town, Bapin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, Matilda Stephen. Good afternoon. What is it in your area? Morning, afternoon, evening, Matilda, but whatever it is, say hi. That's the general expression that cuts across. Malu Fofana, 20th Street, Elizabeth Thomas, Congo Town, Stanley Bosso, Asata Miller, Red Light, Kiebe Goya, Texas, USA, Vinicius Bar, Nuclear Town, Claude de Port, Fifth Kelvin Bappin, Wayne Town, Diana Davis, New York City, Manhattan, your residents. Yes, FC Barcelona. Thank you, Diana. We are headed into Wednesday, having completed the tax on Sunday. We now head for Wednesday against PSG. Again, it's going to be a tough match, but FC Barcelona will triumph. The plastic bag team, Real Madrid, they're struggling now. They're making beamer. They were playing small children. Well, we tell them they didn't believe it. Oh, Real Madrid first game, Diana. Small children. So they were rolling all over the place. Yeah, Madrid fans. Oh, that team that Madrid getting out, that team strong. We'll beat anybody. We carry the Champions League this year. We say your will. Well, your first major test will be against Atletico Madrid. Because as small children, you people play. And truly, against Atletico, they received 5. Now, they headed into the Champions League. They're going to play another tough side, another 5. They will get 15. They have 3 games ahead of them. That 15 goals they will receive. Before we can reach the half of the season, they sack Xabi Alonso. LCB, Prince Dukley, Barclay Farm, Laha Masale, VOA Junction, Henry Tito Jr., Caldwell, Johnson Dolly, New Jersey, your residents. Jack Foley Tombikai, Broville, Bible College Junction, Ansu Family, New York. Precious Zia from your office. Gabriel from your business center. Iron Factory, Broad Street Road. Thank you for choosing Kings 88.5. Cogway, Widow, Kakata, Magibi County, Emmanuel Green, Boys Town, Ibrahim Kroman, Claratown, Muffley CC, Fargo, North Dakota, USA, William Va Jr., Newcretown, Claude de Port, Nevet, Pevet, Morovia, Cardia 2, Camara, Stephen Iacari, Jackson C. Pony, Iron Factory, Block C Community, member of Block 13 Intellectual Center, Roman Rico, Kenny Boy or Rico for short, the chairman of Block 13 Intellectual Center, chairman for life. You are on. Yes. Usman Saw from your business center, Gale Street. Join Momolu, your business center too, Gale Street, behind Liberia Water and Sewer. And a very good lady indeed, whom we cannot start the show without bringing on with humble greeting. Orita Sunday Choir from Delaware, USA. Thank you all for coming on. Very good woman. We appreciate all of you. Okay. So time is of the essence, but let's spend some time with the King Support Basket. You are aware of it. Willem Sumawulo. Good to have you on. Thank you for coming on. Yes, we couldn't, when, as you said, but we are together. Yes. The King Support Basket is on. It's still open. Sorry, we can keep that basket or we can get it closed. The basket is still on. You are aware of what you ought to do and what you have been doing. Yeah. Thank you so much. So you have the number available to you. Those of you who have already stored it in your phone, thank you so much. You've done extremely well. Yes. So let's get started. Time is of the essence. Yes, time is of the essence. Let's get started. What we've got today. So let's go out of Liberia with few developments, and then we are in Liberia. Justification all over the place. Yesterday, there wasn't a need. When the other people were justifying, they were saying no need to justify. The argument about nepotism came out. The other people argue that there is nothing wrong as long as the person is qualified. Today, they argue, they give a counter, and the argument is today, no. LIB politics is so mechanical, man. Former Prime Minister of Mali, Moussa Mara, appeared before a specialized National Cybercrime Court unit in Bamako, Mali on today, Monday, facing trial for an alleged post-backing political prisoners. Mara is facing charges including undermining the state's credibility and legitimacy, opposition to legitimate authority, inciting public disorder, and spreading false information. The case follows a post by former Prime Minister on X declaring solidarity with prisoners of conscience. Moussa Maran's lawyers say the proceedings include a request to release him temporarily from jail, where he's been incarcerated since August this year. Cameroon's opposition gains momentum as Askira Mona exits the race to back Bello Bumba Mangari, a northern heavyweight. Meanwhile, Uganda's 26th presidential race kicks off, but with no women on the ballot. Gambia has emerged victorious in the jollof rice category at this year's West Africa Food Festival, which took place in Accra, Ghana. The highly anticipated contest featuring the Gambia, Nigeria, and host country Ghana brought together the region's long-standing jollof rivals battling for the top spot. Gambians home and abroad have taken to social media to celebrate their country's win, taunting Gambia's rich culinary heritage. The result has reignited the famous debate over who truly makes the best jollof rice, with this year's victory placing the Gambia firmly in the spotlight. Does Liberia have any? What happened with all our chefs here? Following a brief suspension of petrol sales in Nigeria's local currency, Africa's largest refinery, Dangote Petroleum, has resumed Naira petrol sales. It comes after an intervention by Naira for Crude Technical Committee, an initiative by the refinery and the government focused on reducing dependency on foreign currency while growing the local value of the Naira and strengthening Nigeria's oil refinery capabilities. In a memo sent to oil marketers, the refinery said customers can proceed to place orders in Naira for both self-collection and free delivery of PMS to the earlier advised locations across the country. And lastly, thousands of demonstrators in Cape Town on Saturday protest South Africa's ongoing diplomatic relationship with Israel. Organized by pro-Palestinian groups, the protest drew support from political parties and religious leaders. Protesters call for the immediate severance of economic and diplomatic ties with Israel, including the closure of the Israeli embassy. Meanwhile, a similar protest took place in Berlin, Germany, where an estimated 30,000 people marched against Israel military operations in the Gaza Strip. That's how it looks like for events unfolding out of Liberia with similar, if not same, content. What's unfolding in Liberia? Well, Mr. President, if he hasn't, but is returning to Liberia. But before then, the argument on nepotism. Liberia politics is just a premature politics, really, a up and down politics. When you are in, there's justification. You can justify. When you're out, there's the argument. In, justification against the argument. That's how Liberia politics is. Not really a standardized politics. The culture is so not anything that you can learn from, that you can see politicians as role models. You can see those who justify as people with morals. No, it's just a loose political culture, a culture of self-justification for your current state and what you are enjoying against those who aren't there or were there and they're not there now. That's the kind of culture we have. So if you look at the culture carefully, you see that it is a revolving one. No real advancement. You can't learn anything from these people who are called politicians because they are mentally recycle politicians. They aren't people that you can learn anything from. It cuts across every facet of Liberia's political culture. Yesterday, the argument came out against nepotism. And it was one of the strongest, and if not lasting long, but it gained public attention in the government of former President George Weah. These people today will open the code of conduct and say there was a violation. You can appoint this relative of yours, this person, and then the argument then was on qualification, that if the person is qualified, one, and is a Liberian, two, there should be no argument whatsoever. You should give people the right to serve their country once they are qualified. So the argument wasn't about then by those people relationship, closeness, but rather qualification and residency. Today, it comes back to haunt these people who were in opposition then using nepotism as one of the weapons. It comes to haunt them, and they are justifying the coming out of the same thing, argument and residency. Last week, it came out, the head of the Trial Judges Association raised the concern about the Chief Justice appointing his son, coupled with other issues. And it went far and wide. No sooner had it reached the Chief Justice's attention, he got uncomfortable and decided to take on the resident judge or the head of the Trial Judges Association. Not as I observed the whole thing, not because, how did he present it, in my opinion, authoritatively. Chief Justice, the boss, whatever I say, final. I know the law. I am the chief interpreter of the law. What I say is final. And that's what you're about to hear. So he was authoritative and he was more political. Why it is true that he went to some of the lines of the law, or that he wasn't too clear, wasn't too sure of the laws too, even though he is the Chief Justice, but you could see that he put up a political posture to justify the two things I said. He used those two, that his son is qualified, his son is a Liberian, and the president has the right. So what's the issue there? Yesterday it was wrong. Yesterday, nepotism, if you be in Weah's administration, many observing, following the politics, it was one of the issues. These guys in opposition was one of the weapons. They were very strong at it. And what were they using as their pillow, their foundation? The code of conduct. Today, the code of conduct is no document for anything called reading. The Chief Justice, in an uncomfortable manner, uneasy, vexed, decided to respond. Oh, lest I forget, today is one of us, not today, but the 9th will be one of us birthday. Newton Tokpa birthday comes on the 9th of October. He shares the same birth month with the former President George Weah. The difference is the former president is before him. The former president will celebrate his birthday before Newton Tokpa. So we say happy and blessed pre-birthday to former President George Weah. And then Newton Tokpa's birthday comes after the former president, which is the 9th. The former Chief Justice was uncomfortable. You can sense that he was vexed. And this whole thing, you're chasing me, but you have the same problem. When I tell you Liberia politics, Liberia political culture is just a mechanical one. It's not really a culture of substance. It's not a cult, a standardized culture like you see in other countries. It's not a culture that you can look up to politicians that you can learn. It is a culture of mental recycle. The people saying the same thing mentally. When inside, I justify. When outside, I see everything. When I move from outside, come inside, and you outside, you say XYZ to me, I will justify. You don't know nothing. If you ever learn anything from these people called politicians in Liberia, sorry to say, then you are mentally dumb. These people are actually nothing to learn anything from whatsoever. They do the same thing. Listen, have a lesson to the Chief Justice. He's justifying his son. The decision to appoint his son. That's the Chief Justice. Please listen.
Few weeks ago, I recommended some maestros to the president. Most of them were law school graduates, and few of them were not law school graduates. Among the maestros is my son, basically. He just completed second year law school, just entered a third year. The president of Liberia appointed these people. I received a letter from honor, capacity as a president, that the president has appointed non-lawyer as a secondary magistrate and associate magistrate, and that was wrong, and that they wanted to intervene, advise the president. Next on Facebook, I saw the press release issue, but I appointed his son, who is not a lawyer, as a secondary magistrate. I'm going to where her honor is. First and foremost, the law, the constitution of the country gave power to the president to appoint all presidential. He doesn't have to get advice from anybody. But when it comes to the judiciary, you appoint the chief justice, associate justice, judges, magistrates, and associate magistrates. But when it comes to magistrates, the law says the secondary magistrate shall be a graduate of law school. So if the president appoints anybody who is not a graduate of law school, I, as a chief justice, will respectfully go to the Mr. President. They want you error. They just require law school graduate. But when it comes to associate magistrate, there is nothing in the law. The law is as to this. And you must know as lawyer that what the law does not give, it holds. Meaning that the president of Liberia has authority to appoint anybody as an associate magistrate. And the lady sent to me, I don't see one person that the president appointed as secondary magistrate who is not a lawyer. But the 4 or 5 persons who were appointed as associate magistrate who are not a lawyer, that's what they put it. My son needs a second. My son is age, he's a Liberian, he is in law school, and I nominated to the president, and the president sees fit to appoint him. I do not see anything wrong with that, man. Your Honor, I don't see anything wrong with that. The president is not wrong. You are not violating the law, so I cannot intervene, I cannot advise. Besides that, we say that magistrate who are not even high school graduate who are still on judicial payroll. The fact that we decided we train college graduates to be associate magistrate because we cannot afford to get lawyer now, did not take the power from the president to appoint associate magistrate. And since the law did not say that he must be a law school graduate, he has the authority to do so. That's my interpretation of the law. That's my interpretation of the law. Besides that, appointing law school students as associate magistrate have precedent in this country. I practiced law for 27 years now, and I saw it and see it going on. So the president was not wrong in appointing my son. More besides, as I said, my son is a Liberian entitled job. If the question is why Bessie is a chief justice and his son is also serving the government, then I will just refer you to yourself. They say one will live in a glass house cannot trust food, right? If you show one finger to somebody, 4 is showing to you.
So here is his response to that. If you show one finger to a person, 2 coming to you. He who is in a glass house cannot throw stone. He was referring to the lady, the head of the Trial Judges Association.
You are a resident judge. Your husband, Councilor Eric Baglin, is Assistant Minister of Taxation. His brother, Senator Baglin, is a member of the Good Government Commission. So if you say Bessie cannot say, then you resign. Then you resign. I have not violated any law. The president has not violated any law. If you can serve in the government, your husband serve in the government, and your brother-in-law serve in the government, then what's wrong with Bessie serving in the government when you qualify? If the president had appointed him as a secondary magistrate, I would tell the president illegal. I will tell the president, I've done nothing wrong, my son has done nothing wrong, and the president has done nothing wrong. I want to let the honor and the trial judges to know that I have done nothing wrong. If you show me any law that says that the president of Liberia cannot appoint a non-lawyer as the associate magistrate, I will resign my position today. I challenge you. If the trial judges show me any law that says the president of Liberia cannot appoint an associate magistrate who is not a lawyer, I will resign the job I'm doing. Now, you show him now, I will resign before I leave from here. I know what the law is. It is unfortunate that judges who are supposed to be interpreting law will not understand this elementary principle interpretation and try to make statements that will undermine the reform I started to introduce in the judicial. It is quite unfortunate. That is the reason why my administration will ensure that judges are trained continuously so that they can know.
That's the Chief Justice. So the woman faced him. She reacted. Oh, we got a couple of individuals. Hey, man, you people are celebrating your birthday today. Okay. Willem K. Willow, today is your birthday. Oh, I didn't know. Okay, man. Bless God for you, man. Happy birthday, as they say globally. But let me say, blessed be day, because it is a blessing to see your B-Day. Yes. Okay. We'll get to that. So let me bring you the head. She responded to the Chief Justice. Have a listen to her.
Can I brought to your attention and said that they got non-law school graduates that they serve as associate magistrate in different courts. We are talking about the integrity of the judiciary, Your Honor. So when you're taking that information, whatever information you give, let it be credible. Because I don't want to go start raising issue on your behalf and you turn out to be false. Let it be legitimate. And that's how you send the list of a person's not teaching a qualification. So that is requesting your intervention for us to safeguard the integrity of the judiciary. That was the tune of my letter. But what made this thing to be so? If the letter is not a bad letter, what? How about the public? If you want to disappoint every one of us. How about the public and I don't feel good about it to tell you how unhappy I am. Yeah, I don't think you on communication yesterday about WhatsApp. I don't know if you saw it or if you check your WhatsApp is there. I did a communication or right out yesterday morning, was yesterday morning to the NDTGF. I said, well, you can't be doing this to me as the president. We are trying to see your work. If you raise the issue, we will see your work, we will address the issue, and we will direct the issue to our bosses. How did this communication get to the public? So I was very angry with him, and I did a lengthy message to him yesterday in our chat room. I will take you on message yesterday on your Facebook, I mean on your WhatsApp page, attach that letter that I did to the trial judge yesterday, just to inform you that I had nothing to do with the indication of that. I'm a 60 years old woman. Or lawyer in a judge, I will never be that unprofessional to send you any information or communication I'm putting on the social media. We're not going to run the social media only. I mean, we're not going to run the judicial on the social media only. So I'm hurt, I'm disappointed as to how this information got in the public. I'm not feeling good about it. If you read my message on your WhatsApp, you will see how unhappy I am and the manner in which I addressed the trial judge yesterday. So I'm not happy. I didn't think that I would be so unprofessional to do that kind of thing. I know my job as a judge. I won't do that. Then you raise the issue, when you come to equitable claims. For my husband, yes. My husband is an assistant minister that has served for 18 years. I've been married for only 9 years. We've been married for just December was 9 years. I'm getting serving in that capacity before I even got married to him. I'm getting serving in that capacity before I became a judge. So my appointment as a judge or my marriage to him as my husband has nothing to do with the job that I am doing here as a judge. So I see any conflict of interest with his appointment and my appointment. No conflict of interest because I've been serving in that position before I became a judge. He's the longest serving assistant minister in the Republic of Liberia, 18 good years. He's been in that position. You guys know that for assistant minister for taxation in the Bureau. You know, tax I can go for the taxation for taxation in the Bureau. So didn't know his position himself in the position as CFA as a judge had nothing to do with it. Because I met him 7 in that position before I even got married to him, and even before I even became a judge. So I just wanted to just highlight these things. And that's it. And the reason we wrote that letter, Your Honor, the trial judges, our key objective is to protect the integrity of the judiciary. So if issues come out that are not very negative bearing on the judiciary, who do we go to decide? In the tone of my letter, you saw the tone of the letter. In my letter said, can you please intervene based on this allegation? That was the tone of my letter. I was not very respectful, but I made a letter that is like it's in the media. It's in the media. Yeah, I'm not happy about it or not. So that's what I have to say.
So the Chief Justice got vexed because his son, why it should be mentioned that he appointed his son. That's the only thing that made the Chief Justice vexed. And we know that for a fact because he made reference to the woman's husband and her brotherhood. That led her to respond and say, that man being in that position for 18 years, before she met him, he was there as assistant minister. Before she became judge, he was there. Now, no disrespect as much as he is the Chief Justice, but he should not have stooped so low. Stick to the issue. When you start to compare using people's situation as a justification for yours, or that they should not say anything, and that is the culture in Liberia. Once I do this, or I have the authority to do it, nobody should question me, whether I'm wrong or not. Once I am a minister, I am a chief justice, I am associate justice, I director, I whatsoever in government, don't question me. Do your own. That's what has kept this country back. So there are things happening in the government. It's wrong, but nobody wants to talk because somebody will say, you get the other person on the side, and the other person that your interest, the other person who's serving in a position, and that your brother or that your son. So they totally left the issue and then went on to something else. So nobody should talk. Nobody should say anything. Nobody should bring out any criticism whatsoever of anybody. Once that person is a senator, a representative, an executive, personnel, no, don't say anything. Just leave it. So, but these are the same people who would think that they should checkmate others. And what they say is right and the others are wrong when they say anything. That's the kind of society we have. No reason, no wonder there is no standard. Nobody can emulate anybody in this society as this person is a role model. Nobody. Everybody sees these people as just doing what they want to do, whichever way, as by their position. So let's flow on. That's it. That's it. That's the second pointer. So anything the guys do, don't complain or do your own. When you get authority, you appoint your person. And the justification, 2 justifications, residency and qualification. Appoint your relatives. Nothing like code of conduct under this government. But I regard the code of conduct that officials will regard the person who should be implementing. So that thing they call code of conduct that just made people, yeah? What they can say in Liberia, they say the laws are there, but the political will is lacking. Who has the political will? The president. That the president. If the president disregards it, the rest of the people. So you appoint your people. You in your area, don't help your relative. Don't if your son is in a university, be if the son or daughter, first year student, second year freshman, whatsoever, just look for some place you join that person there. Help your family. That is the the Chief Justice is telling everybody. So if you understand it good now, that easy. He's told the woman, is it your husband, assistant minister? So you're talking about nepotism, that nepotism there. your brother, he in the position he in. Since you telling me that nepotism there too, let your husband resign. Let your husband, your brother, move from there. So you help your relatives. So those of you who ain't get time to help your relatives, that ain't there. The people empowering their relatives, don't help yours. That will take us to Eddie Jawolo criticism of Joseph Yeman Boakai. Eddie Jawolo will express his frustration at President Boakai extravagant usage of the country's resources. No criticism from his people who were very critical yesterday. And as usual, the reactionary ministry of information, they will come out to react. Anything a person says, they come out to react. That's reactionary ministry, called information ministry, reactionary ministry. Eddie Jawolo, he did a reaction or expressing his uneasiness of President Boakai presidential villa, as people have been saying that he's building his presidential villa, his resting place. That's what we have heard from people. And it is put at 10 million United States dollars, being constructed in Foya District, his birthplace, Lofa County. According to Eddie Jawolo, the construction firm is Mons, M-U-N-S-N-S, M-U-S-N-S, Mons Groups Incorporated. And this group, according to Eddie Jawolo, is led by Joe Mulba, a close associate of the president, with Edward Yamba, Y-A-M-B-A, Edward Yamba serving as chief engineer. And the construction started on September 10th last year. Eddie Jawolo's argument is the exact source of the financing of this project, whether for something else or the president's resting place, is unknown. The PPCC is off, meaning the PPCC has no idea whatsoever. The law say any amount, I think is from 5,000 or 10,000 upward. I may not be exact, but the figure is around there. It has to go through the PPCC. Eddie Jawolo did not only criticize the project as PPCC is not in the know, but he said it gives other spies that it is President Boakai's residence. Why state security officers are many displaced? His argument assumed that it is not the president's resting place after the presidency, but one of the development projects. Why it will not be, why other projects, major projects that they see being undertaken, they are not made by presidential guy. Why this one is being made by presidential guy? He went further in his criticism to say that a factory that will create jobs and economic benefits for the residents of Lofa County could be, that money could go there. They could use that 10 million United States dollars to create jobs, boom the economy of that county, then putting 10 million United States dollars in what it's understood to be the president after the presidency residence. So Eddie Jaulo will question the rationale for spending over 10 million United States dollars on a presidential villa when the residents of his district, his county, are deprived of significant public services and economic prospects. That's Eddie Jaulo criticism. This is the same Eddie Jaulo that graded Bouakai as making significant strides when he had just stayed 4 to 5 months in office. As usual, not a surprise, that's their move. The Ministry of Information, they soon reacted, condemning Eddie Jaulo, questioning his source of information that it is the president's official retirement home. That will be doing it for that. And the Press Union of Liberia, PUL, the Press Union of Liberia celebrates its 61st anniversary on tomorrow. The Press Union of Liberia will be 61 years old. The celebration takes place with a parade from the University of Liberia and to the new headquarters of the Press Union of Liberia, 9th Street, on the same line as Moravia Christian Fellowship. That will take place on tomorrow. PUL will be 61 years old. The celebration will take place on tomorrow at the new headquarters, secure by the president. The new headquarters actually represents the Press Union of Liberia. Unlike the first one on Clay Street, where it was completely bad off, dilapidated, not representative of a union. No, if you went to that place, everybody who went there, they felt uncomfortable. So much so that international partners were not really going there again because of the filthy condition of the place. Well, the new headquarters now, you can feel comfortable. You know that it is a headquarters representing the Press Union of Liberia. So PUL turns 61 on tomorrow. The celebration will take place at the union's headquarters. The leadership, the president decided not to be wasteful. Unlike President Bouakai, who is wasting the country's money, very extravagant, the president of the Press Union of Liberia has decided not to misuse the union's membership money. Instead of using or paying 1,000 or 1,005 at any one of the hotels here, which the union usually do, this time around, the president of the Press Union of Liberia, Julius Conoma, decided that that money will be used for something else with the union headquarters inside. So instead of taking 5 or 1,000, 1,500 to rent a place or any one of these hotels, the headquarters the celebration will take place at the union's headquarters. At the back of it, they have space there. I think it can take pretty close to 100, 150. Yes. Yes, more than up to 200. The place is spacious. So almost everybody agreed with the president of PUL that yes, this place is okay. We can use this place. That one day's event, why we'll take 1,000 or 1,005 and get to a hotel for just an hour or two, and along the way they will come and tell us, please, there's another program coming up, you'll have to hurry up. But nobody has to tell the PUL hurry up, because it is its own place. The place is spacious. Ridgeside Moravia Christian Fellowship on 9th Street. Julius Kanuma did well. He matched his words with action. The next is the headquarters construction. Previous presidents have always talked, and they never. Everyone doubted Julius Kanuma when he talked about constructing the union's headquarters. The first thing was the relocation of PUL from Clay Street. People doubted that it was just a mere talk, that he wasn't going to do anything. They have seen it. Government officials, the Minister of Information, the President, Press Secretary, and other officials of government went there and they saw, and all of them credited. They counted it on to Julius Kanuma as righteousness, righteous decision. You go up PU headquarters, you know that you're in a union headquarters. It may not be as on the same plane as other headquarters around the world, but you feel that comfort. You know that you are in a place, unlike Clay Street, where you have all kinds of filthy scent all over the place. The bathroom was bad of, when it rained, the water dropping on the floor. So it was too bad of. But now, so he decided not to use 10 million, as Bwaka will use 10 million on his residential palace, as they say. I do not know, that's what I hear people say. So he used that money for other things, PUL, then to take 1,000 or 1,005, give it to a hotel for 1 hour, 30 minutes to have PUL celebration. It will be at the headquarters. So we invite every one of you. It's spacious enough. So where do we go next? Well, I said that every day we'll talk about it. We can understand the shenanigan they try to put into it, but it won't work because it is in the public now. It is a public food. It is palatable enough for anyone to just leave. You know that a food that is tasty, you always want to have it. Yes, the alleged rib is a tasty meal. So we always want to be around. We like the scent. Even though the government finds it offensive and doesn't want anybody to talk about it, they try to play the smart that they do not know how to play. Brian McGill, they know from their investigation, they know that the girl was tampered with. And they know that is a probable cause. They know that is a prima facie that the police director said they were looking for. I don't know what kind of prima facie he wants again when he himself confirmed the prima facie. He himself did confirm the prima facie. So what kind of prima facie he wants again when he did confirm that, yes, there is a prima facie.
The report has come in. There is an indication that, yes, indeed, the victim was tampered with. And yes, indeed, the victim was tampered with. Yes, indeed, the victim was tampered with. That, 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 yes, indeed, the victim was tampered with. And yes, indeed, the victim was tampered with.
This is a prima facie. If you know what a prima facie is, it's not a full indictment. It is simply having substance, essence, something that you can look at and say, okay, yes. So let's go into it. That's what it is. It's not an indictment. It's not a guilt. No. It is just to say, hey, hold on, my guys. Hold on. What are you guys? y'all hold on. They think we are stupid. They think we are stupid. When you hear Bernie Spears say they think we are stupid, this is it. Typically, they think that, oh yes, let's just delay. Let's prolong this thing. As long as we prolong it, other issues come out. They're going to forget. They will not be talking about it. This is Liberia's culture. One event overpowers the other. But everybody can forget. Everybody, whichever way, will choose not to. They can forget. But Kings FM will never, ever forget. They are preventing Brian McGill from going to 10 years in jail. They know that very well. They know that it is obvious that the girl was tampered with, and it is a strong reason why he should be arrested. They don't want to arrest him. They know that the investigation will come out that this man truly tampered with the girl. So they're finding way either to play or to persuade the father, because the father is in government too. They could use that to threaten him, to tell him, they'll say this, make it to believe that initially you misunderstood it, the woman too, because government has so many ways. And then they can put some dollars up front, and then you hear the man or the woman will say, yeah, we know fire, we know about the rape thing, so we say the people must investigate. We know that our daughter was raped, and when people just say it, and we just hear the people talking it on the radio, so the people investigate now, they say nothing wrong. When you are poor, people play on you. So I am surmising, or I feel it is what they are doing on the other side. They know they indicted themselves already by hastily coming to the media and admitting that the girl was tampered with, and they know that that is every probable cause or prima facie enough to have Brian McGill arrested. And the rape law say when something like that happened, the person has to be in police custody. And they know very well that Brian McGill, there's everything pointing to Brian McGill going to 10 years in jail. And they don't want him to go to 10 years in jail. But if it was another person, other than a Unity Party stalwart, they would have flooded Facebook, quoting the rape laws. Ask them, why are they not quoting the rape laws? Today, Liberia does not have any rape laws because it involves an accused, or the accused is a stalwart of Unity Party and Joseph Boakar's son. Ask yourself, why are they not? When MCC people were coming and they flooded the social media, they said big news coming, MCC delegation. Have you ever seen any Unity Party person writing anything about the rape law in this country or talking about it? Because that is their interest. If it was another person, they were flooded Facebook. When former President Wheelhouse got that fire, what did they do? They flooded Facebook with AI image and said that was the president's residence. Have you ever seen any one of them reading a lie about the rape law, as if we don't have any rape law in this country? Because that's the interest. What they're pressing for is some kind of way out that both parties will be satisfied, that it will be presented like Brian McGill just did not rape. But this is it. There's the psychological part. Assume that declare Brian McGill, his conscience will never ever serve him right. His character is already damaged. He's in the public for allegedly raping. Women will be afraid of him. His home is in tatters psychologically. Everywhere he goes, people will point finger at him. When he called his name, Brian McGill, nothing will register in the people's mind but rape. If he went as a speaker to any gathering and he's introduced Deputy Minister for Youth, Brian McGill, the people, what will register in the mind? Rape. It will break him down anywhere, everywhere he goes. He's damaged. It's finished. It's over. The only thing they can do is the needful. Investigate well, come out and say, yes, the man did the act. The law is the law. Have you seen anybody, any United Party people saying the law is the law on this one? Oh, when it's against opposition person, then the law is the law. Didn't Bwaga say the law is the law, meaning let the law prevail. Let the law not discriminate. Didn't the president say there will be no business as usual? When he said no business as usual is a general term for just everything that isn't right and should not be right. It goes for everything society, and it evolves from behavior. Because everything from the mind out. Have you seen any one of them saying the law is the law? They try to shield him. They know that his image already is damaged. So what they're trying to do now is not from an institutional, from an individual standpoint. They know individually he damaged. So they're trying to manage it from an institutional standpoint. It borders on Unity Party character. Unity Party man is accused of raping. He is a government official. A government official is accused of raping. So they're between the rock and the hard place, how to handle the situation. That's why they're taking all the long. Everything you heard the police director say, he indicted, he made it clear. He made it clear that the man is guilty. The man did the act. He said truly the girl was tampered with. That alone. If I in other country, oh yaka. But listen, it will not go. It will not go as the way they want it. No. It won't. That is why in life you try not to be vindictive. You try not to keep grudge. Because God has a way of turning it onto you. So that everybody will see. That's what he meant. When he said, if you think speck is in your brother's eye. Remember now, he did not say speck is in your brother's eye. He said, if you think speck is in your brother's eye and you want him to take it off, there isn't any problem whatsoever. There's no problem. Even if you want to carry out capital punishment, like what they attempted doing with the woman they consider as unclean. He said, if you think speck is in your brother's eye, no problem. You have every right to come out and examine them. And if you think you can take them to jail, like he took D. Maswa Kimaya to jail, he took Kalasco to jail, you took Fonati Kofa, Abu Kamara, Jacob Derby, Dixon Sibo to jail. Yeah, said no problem. But you want to check yourself as Unity Party that all of your officials are clean. That they have no immoral conduct. That none of them can attempt to rape underage girls. Make sure. That's what Matthew 7 is all about. If you think speck is in your brother's eye and you want him to take it off, firstly check yours. So Unity Party has dirty skin, undesirable behavior, And they were using other people from the opposition to shield, to cover up their dirty deeds. But God in heaven, open the closet. That's what you see today. They're protecting Brian McGill. They don't want him to go to jail. They know the length of time that he was still in jail. But we talk about it. We'll always remind the people. One person can bring about change. One institution can bring about change. We don't need the women. We don't need the women to get into the streets again. We don't need anybody to wear black cloths called black wear or women against black. No. We don't need any one of those things. You only need to sit down because you are afraid if you get out in the street, they will not give you the kind of support that you want. So you don't have to battle. Just stay right where you are. Forget about going in the street. Those women who protested first, at least they made an attempt. That wasn't bad at all. At least they made an attempt. So they were out and they protested. Since then, they've gone to bed. They say, no need again.
Everything you are saying right now, I think is related. We are not going to be discussing that right now. We all we want to
You hear them? They said during Weir's time, during George Weir's time, all the people who were accused, they were arrested, they were behind bar while investigation going on. So in essence, what they were saying that Weir showed leadership far better than the men who claim to have had 40 years, 75 years of governance. In essence, these are Unity Party people. They were simply saying that Weir showed leadership. He went in accordance with the rape law. That during Weir time, people who were arrested, who were accused, they were picked up by the police and they were in police custody while the investigation went on. So, whichever way they try to delay, prolong the investigation with the understanding that people will forget, we will not. Women, you can sit down, you can do nothing. If you can do nothing, all the women people groups, they can do nothing. It's up to you. We will not forget. The opposition, Congress for Democratic Change Youth League, is currently addressing the media. Let's join Arvin Wisse for that.
On September 22nd, the government of Liberia, under the instruction of Mr. Joseph Human Worker, the accidental president of the country instructed Gregor Como and Nelson Fremont to go to Olorau International Airport with all of the different state status and apparatus. Even though prior to their advent at the Olorau International Airport, our intelligence told us that $500,000 United dollars were solicited to carry on a clandestine operation to sabotage and subsequently assassinate the former president of the Republic of Liberia. Using taxpayer money to kill taxpayer. And so, when we got at the Olorau International Airport, it was never a surprise that since the historical typology foundation, it was unprecedented in Liberia's post-war history, that past presidents who served the country with everything at their disposal, coming back to the country, to the republic, as a free citizen, they'll be embraced, with barrage of different state security forces. What you saw at the Olorau International Airport, it was a dangerous assembly of assassins. Dangerous assembly of assassins, unscrupulous macro-nationalists who went at the Olorau International Airport to assassinate the former president. And so we saw, for the very first time, 5 different police barricades making an attempt on the life of the former president, going as far as using tear gas and live bullets on harmless and peaceful civilians and citizens who've gone to receive their political leader. But like we said, at the Olorau International Airport, such arrogance and madness was enough. But prepared to take the country back where Joseph Boakai was anticipating the country to go to. And that's why, with all of the shooting and spraying of tear gas against citizens, supporters, and well-wishers, friends and sympathizers of Liberia's next president, the popular union of the masses of the people converged in an unprecedented political enthusiastic crowd. The crowd overwhelmed the forces of backwardness and the forces of evil. The people assembled and they said with guns, with tear gas, we will not retreat to cowardice and bow down to the political pharaoh in Joseph Boakai, because the Egyptians, the less of Boakai you see today, by 2029 you see them no more, and John will become president of the Republic of Liberia. So we appreciate all of the young cadres and militants who took away political power, who navigated away, to ensuring that the political leader and Liberia's next president was protected, safe, and brought to the political capital of Liberia, where the masses of the people had the opportunity to wave, like the day Jesus Christ was entering Jerusalem, and the masses of the people were waving that the true leader has come back to the country to take his position and to take the seat. And so we condemn Gregor Como, we condemn Nelson Fremont, And we condemn those human workers. And we say clearly that had there been any attempt, I want to reiterate that people thought that we were just making political speeches. If Baka wants to end his regime, the Youth League will help to end Joseph Baka's regime. Will do that. Let me repeat. If anybody thought in a parochial mental darkness that what we said at the Royal International Airport was for a political bluff, we want to reiterate this position. Had there been any attempt, smoke, fire, anywhere at the Royal International Airport, we said there would have been a spontaneous and sporadic multiple political vibration at the level of the Royal International Airport. We were prepared to do that. Members of the Youth League, the progressive forces, and members of the Honored Affairs were posted, and we were only waiting for signal here in this country. And Joseph Baka feels that it's crazy. And you will understand that the Youth League will not drop back. The youth will fight and will push it back. And if possible, the Youth League will move to the executive master.
Yo, no retreat, no surrender. Yo. We are ready to die for our country. Yo.
Man up. Yo. Men are very going to lift up. Say yo. That's the reason I kind of rep in Michelle. Yo. And so they understood the language. We know we dare them, we double dare them. That everywhere you take fire and take smoke, we have the capacity to reply you spontaneously. We have the energy. And everything that you eat glass house and you want to keep throwing stones will help you to return the stones and return the stones vehemently. Yeah. And so they retreated a day after the Royal International Airport. They gone back to arson attack. After a failed assassination attack on the life of the former president of the country, they went to the Namski residence, where again we witnessed another failed assassination attack on the former president. This time around, it was at the residence of the former president. Long live for President George Weah. Long live.
Yo, you playing hard, you become president, yo.
The former president of the country been out of the country, and everyone in the country knew about that. There was no information about people horses running around the country. But when they saw that the masses of the people were saying, they were appropriating, they were confirming and reconfirming that trust, that George Weah must come and liberate and emancipate them. When they saw the people from RIA all the way to Weah, when they made a fair attempt to disperse the crowd with tear gas, to disperse the crowd with loud bullets, and they just saw the masses trooping away behind George Weah, they now retreated to another failed assassination attempt using fear and the politics of intimidation to go and attack the former president of the country. But here's the message from the Youth League. The Youth League of the Revolutionary and Democratic Coalition for Democratic Change wants to say yet unequivocally that it is our understanding that the political leader and the former president of the country is safe. It is our understanding that the president Emeritus as well. But what I said to Joseph Boakai, that blazing fire in is a declaration of war on the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Indomitable Battle Coalition for Democratic Change. So, we're going to show Boakai that will return the war to Boakai. The battle has begun. He will return. The war now will also attack, but will return the war from the popular union of the masses of the people converging to demand a constitutional democratic franchise and rights, to demand justice, freedom, liberty, equality in the country of liberty, in the country of equal citizenship.
The Opposition Congress of Democratic Change Youth League News Conference being addressed by Arvin Wise at the party's temporary office, Montserrat County, District 8. Life as a whole, don't allow anybody to make you to think stupid. And in politics, never allow it. Burning Spear, not stupid. They want us to feel stupid. They think we are stupid. They know that we know. And they know that we know. And we know that they know. That part I like. They know that we know. And we know that they know. That part is powerful. Good reasoning. Just be carried away by the ram.
So what about us?
Hey, get to that part.
So what liberating all these people? That's how they want us to do. They want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid.
Let's go there. Let's get there.
They want us to be. That's how they want us to be.
He's getting there.
They've been celebrating all these
yes.
They've been celebrating.
Listen. Please listen carefully. Yeah, get the message. This music, this guy, this music was produced for this time. How many on the other side didn't like to hear it? They want us to think stupid. They want us to feel stupid. They think we are stupid. They know that we know. Bernie, yes, let's go with that.
They know that I know.
They know that we know. And we know that they know. We know that they're against us. And we know also that they know that we too against, because it's a battle, it's a warfare. That's what he's explaining. They're knowledgeable. We're knowledgeable. They're battling. We're battling. Whatever ammunition mentally they come up with, we come with ours. So simply put, we are aware. The two parties, they are aware of each other. They know that we know, and we know that they know. They know that we're strategizing, and we know that they're strategizing. Politically, yes.
They know that I know. 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 They know that I know.
Let's get to the nine. Let's go. Before then, let's read some of the comments as quickly as we can. But the birthday man, William K. Smawolo, happy birthday. Blessed birthday as you celebrate your great nature day. It's extraordinary, so massive. We bless God that you can celebrate your birthday. William K. Smawolo, that's great. Good. Your birthday. Celebrating grand style. Make the most of it. Yes, that's what it is. It is a day that you have to memorialize, celebrate, make the most, so that God in heaven himself will be satisfied. God likes people who celebrate a birthday. Just like Newton Tokwa is preparing to celebrate his birthday. But it's William K. Smawolo birthday today. Happy birthday. Blessed birthday, William K. Smawulu. I see you. Enjoy yourself. Make the most of your day. Great man. Let's read a few comments and then we get to the line and we are out. Matthew Cholo Play, right. After this useless Bwaka government 6 years, that foolish police IG will be arrested. Paris Lobot, right. Lofa County is not Bokari birthplace. It's Freetown. Paris Lobot, Lofa County is not Bokari birthplace. It's not Bokari birthplace. It's Freetown. The Bwaka is from Freetown. Eh? I like the way he spelled it the Freetown way too. Bokare. Remember Freetown. Yeah. Tobasi said the nepotism that started during the William Aratoba administration is still happening under the Bwaka-led government. Sad. Kadike passed away. He needs to train himself. Who are you referring to? Not too clear. Not too clear. Yeah, birthday man all over the place. That's good. Rodney John says Liberia carried the best all time. A best what now? We have no other option but to subscribe to Kings FM and Freedom FM. Okay, Rodney John. That's good. Let's get to the line 0772 23 99 33. The women's line 0777 980375 0886 304497 is down. Don't call 0886 304497. It's down. Call 0772 23 99 33. The women's line 0777 980375 0886 304497 down. 0772 23 99 33 0777 980375. The women's line. These are the two lines that are active. Yes, those are the two lines. 0886 304497 is down. Don't call 0886 304497. Hello.
St. Andrew.
Yeah.
This is Sabato from Northern County and also from Jikotan Ria.
Sabato.
Hey, St. Andrew.
Yeah, Sabato.
Thank you so much for our message that you bring to us.
Sabato.
St. Andrew, let God continue to bless you.
Amen.
I ask God to bless you because three of you, that what you're doing for Liberia people. And how on you hear it. I think you say one time it can come to pass. So we thank God, thank you for you. Let God thank you for what's going on in Liberia. God exposes. So we thank God, thank you so much in Jesus' mighty name.
Amen. Amen. Sabato.
Yeah.
Great man. Great man. Great man. All the way from Maryland County. Sabato. Okay. Have a nice day, Sabato.
Thank you, Senator.
Okay, Sabato. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Andrew.
Yep.
I'm calling from Motokoma and Sando.
Let's hear you, Sando.
Yeah, I want to let you speak to my president that
Move from where you are. Your line is cracking. You're not too clear. Walk away from where you are.
You should read Psalm 68 verse 1 and verse 2. You getting me?
What happened now?
Hello?
What happened?
I said you should please read Psalm 61 and verse 2.
Who now? Who?
Our former president, please give me the message for me.
What happened? Why?
Huh?
Why?
Lie ended this scatter.
But I'm talking about former President Weah. The time we got more to talk about President Weah. Our responsibility is to make sure that Weah wins 2029. And that's what we're doing. But I'm talking about Weah today.
No, I just give you the message, please.
No, stick to what I talk. Stick to what I talk. It's not what you want to say. It's we set the pace and you go according to what we do. Hello. Yeah.
Hi, son. This is Edmond. And son, we appreciate you guys. And just to inform you that we follow all of your activities on Saturday. If other people have not finding interest in that program, unleash your potential, I encourage them to do so. It's so enlightening, it's so encouraging. We appreciate you guys. We don't have the money today to give to you guys. Whatever we are going to do, we pray that God will be able to favor you guys. And you see,
yeah, that's true. You're right. All credit goes to AB. That's AB.
Yeah. I know, but I think you guys, I know. Yeah. And, I said it at the airport the last time that this is the limit test. And the only way that we can overcome this is to always allow the Unity Party police to know that we are here. You have no absolute control, and we cannot allow you to dictate how we're supposed to control our activities in this country. That was their plan. But when they were executing it, their police deputy IG were driving from Monrovia, receiving the news how people were there and passing by buses going. When he entered there, the only thing he had to do for them to change their plan and cool the situation down. And that is what we should do. They felt that by putting all the tear gas, we could have scattered to leave our president vulnerable. But we resisted and we remain there. More and more people continue to pull in, and that is why we should do our sedition. Then you see that you're talking about the Chief Justice, amen. And in fact, that position that they're talking about at PV, you will not believe it. That position is for somebody already, that associate position when you're talking about his son. There was a guy called William Barr. He got suspended. I think it was last year his suspension is going to be over this year. So when he come back now, what happened with his position? They will be occupying the same position.
The argument was that the argument was not on that. The man's argument was there's no wrong in it because his son qualified. His son, I think, is a 10-year law student. His son is qualified, so there is no need for that. Once he finds it necessary, Chief Justice, and there is the law is silent on that. Whether it should be you have to come out of law school before getting that position, or you can be in law school and at the same time it doesn't matter because there's no provision for that. That's what he said. And as long as the president approves his request, people should not criticize it.
Yeah, he needs to be careful anyway, because the time he was associate justice, the last time when the fight was going on, he was almost acting like he was the spokesperson for the Supreme Court bench. But this time now he is the boss. He should be fast to hear, but slow to speak, or else he's going to be finding himself in the mess. They are just far beyond us. Because we have said that it is very difficult to defend Bouaka. It's difficult to cover Bouaka up. I don't care how you cover it up. There's going to be at some point in time that you got to come up to try at least to save yourself out of shame. So you just speaking out of shame. How come you didn't do groundbreaking for that project? How come we didn't know? We didn't hear anything about it last year after a new project? Now that I said last year September, that project they going on. So when you go the money, 10 different buildings jumped it. They're telling us, say, if a man of how come? But thank you, man. Every child they are forced to speak and they have to speak. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Carr. Have a nice Monday. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. I'm Freeman General Ibrahim Gosling William Pekin. I joined from District 2, Mosrado County. Let me say thank you to Sion Kwame having for that wonderful message to the useless raping government. You know, this government are on a raping mission. The Liberian people are getting to understand the reality of leadership. When we told them that old man Joe, the deacon have no ability, nothing connecting to leadership or bringing people together, they told us it was lie. And thank God they are seeing it. All this time they think Ben in First Human was the first. Waka never come out to say anything. Yesterday it was another minister. Today again we are discussing another minister. Waka say we mean and the executive marshal, nobody talking ever anything. So Waka and his people they came to the presidency to rape our sisters, our daughter, and our mother. But we are telling Joseph Human Waka, Liberia belongs to him and his family alone. Liberia belongs to every Liberian. Everyone has equal right. So if Waka refused to submit to the Liberian or put his interest first, it will not be easy for this president. Thank you.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Good evening.
Yeah, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Brother Andrews.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for the work you do for the Liberian people. You guys are very investigative and to the point. And I trust that the Freedom, the Voice of Liberia, the King's FM, the Banner FM will take full responsibility in discharging a journalistic duty for the people of Liberia in terms of releasing information regarding the rape accusation against the Deputy Minister for Youth and Sports, Abraham McGill. Most especially when it comes to rape, it is crystal clear. We are heard from the Learning Councilor, in person of Councilor Tiawan Ganglo. We are heard from the civil rights activist, Mr. Dempster. So you can't twist the law. You can't twist the truth. Because the Bible says righteousness and justice is the foundation of the throne of God. And if you are a government, through your police RG cannot stand on truth, and there's no need to trust such a government. Because we went through in 1980, because of no justice, no truth, we went through in 1990, the most devastating war that deprived us of basic services as citizens. Today we have a police RG who is shooting an alleged rapist. In fact, all indications point that the child was tampered with. For heaven's sake, my dear brother, why this man cannot be arrested and detained and the ongoing investigation?
A United Party man, huh?
Yeah, that is unfair, that is unjust, and that is inhumane. We have to speak out as people of this country. Don't be one-sided about government.
You didn't call your name from the onset, but I assume this is Pastor. So, Pastor, you people have the congregation, the masses before you as we have. So you people can raise the issue to keep on talking about it, because government officials go to your churches. All of them have their churches to go. If pastors were raising these issues, sermonizing them,
sorry, but Andrew, that my message, I think we have to air out my messages, because we speak truth to power. For me, I don't mix my words, because you did not call me. I'm called and anointed by God. And you have no authority over my life nor my destiny. I followed a little with a minute Dukley, who was a prophetess for this country in the 80s and the 90s. She was killed. So if we know what the government knows, that God is about to strike people who are in government that want to destroy the country, and will be honored to them. A little call on a radio station, he said there were 7 heads hanging over the country. It's a sign of danger. And the President Numa Bwaka, should be very, very careful how he run the country. The wrath of God will come, most especially on government officials. God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
Thank you, Pastor Cooper. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Samaju.
Yeah.
Holiday.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I'm Joseph Ebedu calling for Stephen Tomo about Allen. Yeah, so, I'm happy to call on your show today, and my second time calling. Can you remember the last time I called you, I told you that even the fish that in the water were fell to Sawaka, all of them run away. See, can you imagine the former President John Weah, the fish that used to waste, the bony, used to waste until the girl are on the beach and all can get on to eat. But look at now, even the fish, all of them go into the blue sea because they are afraid of Hima Bakari government. And the issue of the rape issue, but we will talk. But only the grace of God can make that little girl independent. Because
don't worry. Don't worry, my dear. That one ain't got nothing to do with grace. No, ain't got nothing to do with grace. We're talking. Action is taking place. They got conscience. They will not compromise it.
But
yeah.
See, sometimes we tell our brothers that the rightful person like get the country which vote for the person, and they deny. And now we see it, but we pray to God 2029. We all will join hands together and we will bring our former president, George Mane Okupe. We are back to the SNSA seat. Thank you, Sir Andrew. Thank you for God bless the Kiss FM. Thank you, Sir Andrew.
Amen. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, thank God. And you?
I'm fine. By the grace of God. Okay. I'm sorry, for security reason, I will not call my name. But
so the government after you?
Know, yeah, no, not that the government after me. Nobody after me, but I call them. Some more will get government.
But hiding identity is either you are being sought after, or you are releasing a classified sensitive information that if they hear the name or the identity of the person, they might pursue you. That's the reason people conceal their identity.
Okay, for the reason, I'm doing it for everybody. And one,
let's hear you.
Nobody after me. I'm a librarian. I'm free to move anywhere. But one thing, we got to let them know that we get government.
Yeah. So let's hear you speak.
Okay, what the government planning to do about the citizen-led government when they are coming in power? They said it's a rumor, or they say all over. They say when the 2029 coming, then the guy what they talk about in citizen government, all the PB guys, they will session all of them. It had to do with one. They start sending them the code about the criminal attitude, so they will not get no power to even run campaign. Or me, I tell them, I say it will be live. And if anything happens to any of the guys, but I'm sorry, Monserrato was totally feed the weight. And we all Liberians, we got to get together. If the government not working well, we try to tell them let it do the will of the Liberian people. If you not do the will of the Liberian people, if the Liberian people decide to move you from there, don't never take any action. Because if you take any action, if you feel you man, we all will get inside it. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Andrew.
Yes.
How are you?
Fine. And you?
Okay, I'm okay. I'm Sylvester calling from Patriotism. Concerning about Waka West, I can still remember 2023 campaign. Somebody called from Lufa and said Waka was 6 years old when he left from Freedom and came to Labrador. So you're not born here,
The man I'm Liberian? You going up for chief? Hello. Hello.
Yes, thank you, Sam. Good evening. Let me say good evening to those who follow your show. This is Hussein. My name is Hussein Kewu. I call from Jacobstown District 2. Sam, I listen to the different analysis. But let me say this. In fact, Magio is a former government official. He was suspended by the president and he had been replaced.
He isn't. He isn't. Hold on, Hussein. Don't say Maggie is a former government official. You don't know the difference between suspension and dismissal. Bwaga did not say dismiss. It said Maggie
have been replaced.
No.
The president appointed a deputy minister for youth development.
Listen. Bwaga did not show leadership over there. That is a complete.
You all recommended, right?
No.
You all recommended that the president take action.
Listen.
Isn't so, Sam?
No, that is a nominal action. Hussein, that is a nominal action. It's not leadership. No, Bwaga messed up over there. He suspended. So don't go. The man, he suspended the man. That place remained there until the man is, if the man is found guilty, then you can replace him.
No, Sam.
No,
but
the man.
That come expediency, right?
No, listen. Hey, my man, drop anything. No, there is no expediency in that thing. We have seen the pattern all over the world.
Suspension and the position be vacant.
But we have seen it. They've done it yesterday when CDC, when Rape King and whatever situation, and they suspended the person underwent investigation. What you people were saying in opposition? You people were saying the same thing. So leave it as it is. Don't say the man has been replaced.
So let me end on this note. Yeah, thank you. Let me end on this note. Thank you for always having me and having those changes. So the father of modern grammar of Africa and the world will be arriving tomorrow in country. That's His Excellency Joseph Mambata.
You get made fun of Bwaga. You see Bwaga as a comedian.
The man is the father of modern grammar. The man has defined grammar to the code.
Yeah, that's true.
Even people around the world now, are wondering why this man who does not get foreign education just went to University of Lagos. And it's so eloquent. So now they refer to him. I listen to people in Kenya, they will refer to him as a part of modern grammar.
Okay, that's true.
The man defined the Queen language. So you'll be arriving. Could you say you are welcome? You are free to go and welcome the president on the airport.
All right,
he is our president, and I call him CC the rest of the other folks to go and embrace the president and thank you for the adequate representation at the UNGA.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Jose. You didn't partisan. That's true. Bwaga is a grammar, is relative. The man I can hardly talk with a voice can count on. Hello.
Good evening. Good evening, Samaju.
Yeah.
Yeah, good evening to the peace loving of Lofa County. Well, Mr. Grammarian is coming tomorrow.
The grammarian coming tomorrow. The grammarian.
Nothing in doing for the Liberian people. Well, my name is Mohammed Dongo Fafana Jr. Well, I call from the Somalia. Well, my attorney general to the Chief Justice of Liberia. I just want to give this caveat to Mr. Gio Tome because he's like a real Gio man. I just want to give you a caveat.
The Chief Justice is Yami Gbese.
Yeah, Yami Gbese. I know his name, but he's a Gio. He speaks like real Gio man.
Chief, Yogo is not. The issue is now on tribal ground.
No, I'm just saying something out of I'm not.
Yeah, just speak.
Well, I just want to give this caveat to him. 2029. Our dynamic president is coming back to power. So that your misunderstanding with justices, contradicting yourself in leadership. 2029, we are coming back. So we are Chief Justice of Liberia. We don't mind, but the truth is the truth. 2029, we are coming back. That's the only thing I got to say to the readers.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the women's line. Hello.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, we thank God, thank you. So if we are not there, we can be celebrated. Yeah, you know, yeah, boy,
yeah, it becomes very even.
Yeah, so if you can't even, that would be happy. One year for you're general there. When you're talking that, I want to be pity. And go there. You get the people, they don't want to do something, they run the chappy. They want to happy. They never follow government. They follow government. You will die. You do. They follow government. You will die. You tell your mother they say I follow man. Thank you, huh? The question. Thank you.
All right, man, busy. Okay. All right, man, busy. Have a nice Monday. Hello. Oh, you went off. Okay. As the people can say in the Liberian way, your thank you there. Oh. Your thank you there for all of the calls. Oh. You're doing extremely well. Let's have this break. Then we talk. This break. Yes. Let's have this break. Then we talk this break. And then we are out. We gradually headed there.
Fellow Liberians, I have received today news of the evictions and destructions of our party headquarters. Unfortunate and regrettable as this is. I wish to encourage all Liberians, especially our supporters and sympathizers, to stay calm, remain law-abiding, and respect due process in the interest of our democracy, the rule of law, and the peaceful coexistence among all Liberians, irrespective of party, social, ethnic, or tribal affiliations. Fellow Liberians, fellow partisans of the Coalition for Democratic Change, today we witness yet another testament of the Unity Party government gross disregard for the rule of law. Emboldened by impunity, they continue to abuse power, testing our nation's fragile peace and democracy. Their list of violations grows daily, from police brutality against ordinary citizens to outright disregard of court orders. We must, however, take the high road. In the interest of peaceful coexistence, I urge everyone to remain calm, law-abiding, and respectful of due process, despite this partisan political mischiefs from the Unity Party government. In the legal battle over the ownership of the CDC headquarters, our party has always followed the rule of law and openly stated its willingness to abide by the court final ruling, regardless of the outcome. Yet, before the battle was fully exhausted, the trickled, happy partisans leadership of the police force, with direct instruction from Bwaka himself, spurred into actions. This was not a lawful eviction. It was a failed mission to destroy and erase the CDC in an attempt to fulfill their very wish Bwaka has repeatedly expressed to his lieutenants. While executing this criminal act, they made the cheers of their partisans. They failed to notice the loud silence of the vast majority of ordinary Liberians. Our people are in disbelief at this administration. Reckless behavior in its quest to consolidate power. Posterity will punish them harshly, while the loss of our office building is a setback. I want to emphasize that it is only temporary. We shall overcome this sooner rather than later. Thanks to your unwavering commitment, determination, and resilience, fellow citizens, coalitions, well-wishers, and sympathizers. Fellow partisans, do not be despaired. While we amid these difficult times, our party has faced worse situations, even from the very same actors we see today, and we have emerged stronger. We shall prevail. The UP leadership, Honor Bwaka, are destroyer, but we are builders. A special national headquarters delivery committee is being established to immediately begin the construction work so that we can have a modern state-of-the-art new home in record time. We shall execute this while we embark on a national tour to inform our people. In my journey to heights I have achieved, I have seen such hiccups before. We shall never waver. Together we will build. We are survivors by history. We are blessed with the spirit that overcomes even the most tragedies and misfortune. Remember the unity, strength, and identity of our party and coalition are not found in bricks and mortar. They live in the minds, hearts, and fighting spirit of our teaming supporters. Therefore, I call on every member of the party, our sympathizers, to mobilize and focus our energies on constructing our next premises. I must be clear, resist the temptation to take the law into your own hands. However disappointed we are by this outcome, I call on each of you to continue respecting the law and due process. Fellow partisans, well-wishers, and sympathizers, I am optimistic about the political future of our party. Together we will build a better home land for our party. So help me God. God bless Liberia. Thank you.
Former President George Manuel Weah will return to the presidency of the Republic of Liberia. This is no soothsaying, not a miracle saying. The indicators are not only strong, but they point to that time. The government itself, Unity Party, campaigning for Weah. The government of President Joseph Yema Boakai can turn Liberia into heaven. It wouldn't be sufficient, convincing enough by the people to re-elect Unity Party. Unity Party will lose the election 2029. Before 2029, Unity Party will have conceded defeat with all of the signs and odds against them. George Weah will return to the presidency as he is engaged and fully engaged and will remain fully engaged.
I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change, the CDC. Remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change.
A political minor for any leader or political party is to disengage or distance himself or the institution. The advantage of winning an election is being with the people, fully engaged with the politics, inclusive of preparation, engaging the issues, engaging the current leadership. George Weah maintains still his popularity. We can name or explain to you more than 150 characteristics that work in George Weah's favor. George Weah still commands the respect within the hierarchy, the bottom layer, the outer layer, and that hierarchical layer. George Weah commands the respect within those three layers of all of the political parties in this country. They hold George Weah with a great deal of respect. 1. 2. Weah's popularity has not dwindled. That means it has not gone down. Weah is the only political figure in Liberia that maintains his popularity. It is evident, it is seen, it is convincing. You might run to what you've seen over the week at the airport. Well, that's too small for you to build on. Why it is a key reference, but Weah is more than that. You and I know that we are assembling or we are moving to a given place, the multitude. The tour is about to start. The people have started preparations. The party preparation is different from the people's preparation. Just the announcement that George Weah will be making a tour to the counties, that alone the people have started preparing. Not with a request to the party to give them a dime, a t-shirt, or anything, but rather would do everything on their own. Not because it is CDC, but because it is George Weah, and since it is George Weah, CDC profits. 3. The name George Weah is a force to reckon with. Who does not know that? Everybody in this country knows that very well. That name resonates so well with the children, even those without voting age. He is the only popular political figure in Liberia. Nobody, absolutely nobody, politically is popular than George Weah. Nobody. If you can show me a person who is popular than George Weah, then George Weah isn't that person. But as far as I know, have seen, George Weah is the only popular person in this country. Is that an advantage, St. Andrews? Politically, especially in electioneering politics? Yes. It is a greater advantage. When you aren't known, it is a disadvantage. And that's what led some politicians in elections to end 20th place, 22 position, 25. By their votes, they got 20, 30. Popularity is key in politics and electioneering politics. And the only popular person amongst all Liberia's politicians is George Weah. It is that popularity that his opponent, Unity Party, knows very well, and they try to come up with different shenanigans or strategies to put the people against him so that he does not, or it does not resonate with the people, but it's difficult. How they do that? By the expression, he's not coming back. He will never come back. They're not saying that he doesn't have the ability. They're not denying the possibility, but they are playing the politics, or simply put, they are playing on the people who are not his supporters, presenting him as a bad person who they should not take serious, because they know between now and 2029, 16, 17 will have voting rights. And Weah commands vast majority of the young people, so that demographic going in Weah's direction, a disadvantage to the ruling establishment. The ruling establishment knows that Weah is a force to reckon with. They are not saying that it is impossible, that Weah does not have the ability. They're not saying that he's not going to come back. That expression they often use simply, they are afraid and they will need to put the people against him. They know if the presidential election was today, the margin will be a gulf between Unity Party and George Weah, or Boakai and George Weah. More to that, international recognition and support is key to getting one elected. George Weah, unlike the current president, commands a great deal of respect and honor within the international community. George Weah supporters out of Liberia surpass Joseph Yema Boakai Unity Party supporters out of Liberia. You want to go back into history, if you can, look at Weah's meetings, diaspora meetings, and the current president. Compare the two gatherings, attendance. Weah has the recognition, respect, and honor of great leaders around the world. Leaders around the world are ready anytime, any day to give Weah their support. They want to see him back. Unity Party notes George Weah cannot be defeated by it or them. The signs are clear that if election was today, presidential election, the National Elections Commission will announce Weah as the president. Here's another factor to give you every reason to believe that Weah will come back 2029. The margin, 2023 margin. The message they sent across, their propaganda, didn't suffice much, as evident by the margin. What that means is, vast majority of the country went for Weah against Joseph Yoma Boakai. And it means that George Weah, of the two, the popular figure, despite political imperfections of George Weah as president, the people wanted him on as the president. The margin tells you that. Within that, Unity Party, the current Unity Party, was not too sure of winning the 2023 elections. We saw all of the signs. They had given up. They were only hoping for a miracle. And that miracle came from Nimba County with the National Elections Commission helping. How did the National Elections Commission help? Well, it is clear. The National Elections Commission created a mystery character. And the plan did work well. They created the mystery character in Edward Appiton. It was the plan. And CDC wasn't sensitive. CDC was not discerning enough politically. So they couldn't pick up these things that were happening outside and within the National Elections Commission. I am 100% convinced that one day the chairman of the National Elections Commission will explain some of the inadequacies or deliberate actions they took around the 2023 presidential elections. David Etta Brown Lasana was aware of the plan, and every other person around there. How is it possible for a man who didn't participate in any election in Liberia, was not known prior to coming to Liberia, except his family? Nobody. He didn't crisscross the country. He got on a bit late. Go to the National Elections Commission and ask of everything, Edward Appiton. People were even asking, if you were around following the electoral politics or electoral process, people were asking questions like this. Who is this Apiton? Who is this man? Where he's coming from? No one. The country did not know any person of any political stature, Edward Apiton. But here is a man who got votes far above the man who the country knew participated in the election before 2023, got considerable number, became popular, and the people say, oh, had Alexander Cummings come earlier, he would have done more than what he did his first time. So he became known in no time. It became a surprise, and you hear people say, but how come? Then Edward Apiton man would just go ahead. They were simply saying, this man with no comments, though he stayed long on the stage, 10 years, 15 years like others, but the short time he stayed on the stage, the first time he came, he popularized himself in no time. He got our recognition and our attention. He got a percentage considerable, and we've known him. What's the possibility? How can you reason that a man who the country did not know came and then far above Alexander Cummings, who the country knew? Interesting of all, strongholds of known politicians. Edward Apiton got wider votes or margin down to the southeast, Moserado and other places. Why were they doing all of these things? They knew the weight, the popularity of George Weah. So the National Elections Commission endorsed the plan to create, and they created that mystery corridor. What do you see after everything? The mystery corridor is rewarded with ambassadorial position. Too many things happen to cut Weah. Too many things. Along the way, you will get to know too many things. Our little observation, because we were in and out of that elections commission while observing other things, then participating in other gatherings. And that's why I said that the elections, the Unity Party did not win the election fairly. George Weah will return to the presidency. George Weah has everything still intact. Nothing has been taken away from George Weah. No, nothing politically. He has everything. All of the factors that existed prior to his coming, his ascendancy to the presidency remain. He still have all maintaining. He's going into 2029 with those. The bracket or the corridor we have, or Unity Party has, from now until 2029, not much of a time to do anything extraordinary. You see, they try to hasten. You see them breaking places. Now you're going to see something. Some will work, some wouldn't in time. And they will use that We need a second term because we did not complete this. We need to do this. You give us second term. Do we use that? The overhead pass can finish, even though they say 1 year. But let's see. There are other things. But I am convinced that even Joseph Yeoman Boakai turns Liberia into heaven, it can still give him 2029. And I don't know whether he will even be ready for 2029. So all of the factors point to we are return 2029. Thank you. We talk more of this tomorrow, if God permits. CDC Hour, the news is on at 6. You want to join us for that? King's Newsroom at 6. And then at 6:50, Isiaka Sharif is here with CDC Hour. And then at 8 o'clock, you know exactly what it is. I need not tell you. The teacher himself is in. Anthony at Law, A.B. William will face the issues. If God permits, we'll look at some of the factors again. Why George Weah will return to Liberia's presidency 2029 with all signs pointing to that. I'm Sam Andrews. Shalom.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.
Good news, good news, good news. What is the good news? Star Times Liberia, your best digital TV choice, is back in Liberia. Oh, wow. Tell me more. So